Hello, everyone. It's me again, this time coming back with Paul Moore. We've done some interviews in the past. This time we're going to do a series of small sections or nuggets, really about so much of the conversation that's been coming up around AI, but in particular, if anyone knows Paul Moore, around developer practices, because he's the one who delivers the Certified Scrum Developer, the Advanced Certified Scrum Developer, and now a BDD course, a Lean Engineering course, and more. So definitely pertinent to come and kind of sit a little bit and revisit because there's so much happening with that. So I'm going to start at the highest level. Just from your perspective, Paul, you've been in the industry, I mean, how long? Really before Agile Manifesto, you've seen trends before, and maybe a little bit for the developers, like what do you see happening? Just at the 30,000 foot view, 40,000 foot view, why it matters, what's happening with AI, just your take on that.
Yeah, so I won't age myself here, but I definitely am as old as personal computers, if not a little bit younger, older. It's really been that as the computers are getting networked, as the computers are getting more powerful, as we're talking to each other, the capabilities are amazing.
Hmm.
But at the core, and I mentioned this in my classes, is that as a developer, I enter my program one key at a time. And if I get one keystroke wrong, everything breaks. And that's changing a little bit with AI, but I still think there's fundamentally, we've got to have all the different pieces spelled out correctly. And that's what we've got to watch out for, is that we got to make sure that we know what we're saying is what we intended to say and not what the computer is going to interpret the wrong way.
Which is huge. So, on that note, one metaphor you gave that I really liked, that I hadn't heard you mention before. Tell for everyone that hasn't. Obviously, that's everybody else out there. The $1 million metaphor.
Yeah, so I like that Kent Beck, one of the founders of extreme programming, he talks about conferring with the genie. AI doesn't know what it's talking about or what it's thinking of. It just knows what it can parrot back to us based on all these conversations that it has consumed. And if you think about any of the genies in classic literature, they will interpret our requests almost to the T, whether it's what we wanted or not. So the $1 million question is, if I tell the genie, hey, give me $1 million, and then a pile of cash appears in front of me, how do I know that there's actually $1 million bills there? How do I know that they're real bills and not counterfeit bills? How do I know that they haven't just been stolen from a bank and deposited in my house here? There's so many things that we have to think about around the general want to make sure that we get the system that's actually going to serve our needs.
Yeah, I think it's a really great warning, cautionary tale